I'm planning on getting my freedom pretty soon. So I got some work tonight. The only mother in the world is be calling from prison and tell Katt Williams I get at him later.
Even though it could have seemed harmless, his intention in pursuing Katt Williams following his release from prison is not to reminisce about their past adventures together. Oh, did he just reveal his rival? To what violent content did he refer? In other words, Diddy is the focal point of attention. Diddy could be feeling something right now because he will be dedicating a whole show to it. For example, despite the fact that everyone has been talking about how Diddy's exposure is getting closer and closer, it appears as though the clock may have stopped since we might already be in the presence of Diddy's worst dread. At first, there were rumors circulating that suggested his recent rebranding to encourage self-love was really an attempt to contain the damage. But it looks like Katt Williams just hinted that things might take a quick and, to be honest, more transparent turn for him, and not in a positive way. This implies that there's a good chance the hypothesis will catch on. Even though many people have said they would like to sue Diddy, and some have, as seen by the numerous lawsuits he was involved in last year, he is still at large as of right now. However, it isn't the law enforcement or regulars who are supposedly after him this time. One has a reputation for being a mob boss, but the other is open to honest conversation about anything with everyone. These people are all dedicated to taking down Diddy, so they establish a dangerous alliance against him. Suge Knight and Katt Williams are the people I'm talking about. The only thing that keeps most of Hollywood's affluent and powerful in their positions of power is controversy. All of the individuals I'm talking about have these two traits in common, and Williams and Knight will utilize these traits as leverage to make Diddy answerable. It is commonly known that Diddy manipulated practically everyone in his community, including those he claimed to be friends, to get the maximum prominence possible. His involvement in several scandals, including as the untimely death of rapper Tupac, has contributed to the second portion of his reputation. Even though 7 out of 10 people would probably blame Diddy for Pac's death, authorities have declared that Knight was to blame. Given that he was in the car next to Pac when it happened, he might have a point, but it also suggests that he was probably aware of the details of what happened that day. The man has been incarcerated for several years after committing a different crime, but he hasn't ceased questioning the public's perception of Diddy's true identity when he isn't dressing up as Brother Love. In this specific chat, everything he has said has somehow to do with Tupac's passing. Just a random event? Not likely. In any case, Knight is singing about Diddy again, and his release date is getting closer than it has been. This time, it was over a discussion he had with Katt Williams that made news, in which they discussed precise strategies for revealing Diddy following his decision to keep quiet for over 30 years. Knight is not just Diddy's enemy but also a wealthy man, so there is no way he can buy his way out of this. Does this imply that Diddy's days of being free are coming to an end? It is necessary to provide an introduction to almost every person in today's topic. Actually, the only minor outlier in this instance is Katt Williams. Given that Diddy and Knight have been linked to each other in the media for a long time, it appears that Katt is taking the initiative to alert Diddy to his impending demise. Katt Williams gets paid to discuss various aspects of his life, therefore it should be obvious to all of us why he is so keen to tell Diddy about the ideas and projects he is working on. In addition to becoming well known as a humorist, Katt Williams has also done some acting in movies. In fact, the parts were so significant that he was forced to play them again in different series. Given that Knight said that Williams is the only producer he trusts for his next project, it appears likely that he has watched 1 or 2 of those shows. Which project am I referring about here? You know how they say that incarceration forces one to reflect on past decisions and encounters. He experienced just that this evening, and in the process, he learned to accept everything in the world, the good, the bad, and the ugly. But his choice has an impact on more than just his own life. The source disclosed that he intended to discuss many facets of the lives of individuals he was acquainted with, including Tupac's. With or without his record label, he declared he would discuss every violent act he saw. And who has a violent past with both Brother Love and Knight's record label? Then again, no offense to Katt, why would Knight want to work with someone outside the film industry to produce and direct such a significant project? As it occurred, Knight paid relatively little attention to Katt's theatrical background when he put her in charge of the project. Williams' intense desire to get rid of Diddy makes sense considering that he and Pac have a long history together. Before Katt Williams' interview with the former record boss went viral, D-Dog, an affiliate of Knight's, had hinted that the man would get out of prison sooner than everyone had assumed. In a podcast, he disclosed that the man who founded Death Row Records had 15 of his 28-year prison term vacated. He said that while speaking with David Kenner, Suge's lawyer, over the phone, he discovered that Knight's 28-year sentence had been reduced by 10 to 15 years. He went so far as to threaten others who had spoken up during Knight's incarceration and asked them to keep going since he would soon be released. He declared that he will make a Death Row film based on Starz' BMF series and reveal all of his insider knowledge regarding the Mouthrunners if Knight is freed. The entire speech appeared to be directed toward Diddy. He even made hints that Suge was pursuing everyone who had assisted in his rise to fame while he was jailed. Due to their long-standing rivalry between the East and West Coasts and their sporadic animosity, which has made Diddy appear more fearful of Suge than the other way around, the two have been at odds for a very long time. Although their rivalry had been going on for some time, it was officially revealed during the historic 1995 Source Awards, a night that would go down as a watershed in the history of hip-hop. Things deteriorated after that, which finally resulted in the rappers Biggie and Tupac's deaths. Though in Tupac's case more so than in any other, everyone believes that Diddy was involved in both of their killings since a few people have accused the rap mogul in the 3-decade legal struggle. Evidence seems to be building, if internet detectives are to be believed, to bolster Diddy's allegation that he paid former South Side gang member Keith D $1 million to carry out a hit on Suge Knight and Tupac Shakur. Even though Keith D insists he turned down the offer, his claims have shocked the hip-hop community. There are concerns about Diddy's possible motivations and an increasing feeling that there might be more to this tale. The truth seems to be coming to light gradually. Important players in the Tupac M case, like Keith D, have revealed fascinating information regarding the pivotal exchange that resulted in the well-known rapper's demise. This former bodyguard has publicly acknowledged that his motivation for taking part in the event was the possibility of winning a $1 million prize. It has just come to light, though, that he was never paid anything at all. Additionally, Keith D admitted that during a police raid on Puffy's home, he told Puffy that their guns were being stolen and that he was running low on ammunition. That's not the end of it. Dwayne Keith went on to describe the altercation that took place that fateful September 13, 1996 night. The white Cadillac's driver on the evening of the event. He did acknowledge that Orlando Anderson, his nephew, was the gunman, but he would not name any other suspects. Keith revealed the terminal nature of his cancer. When Reggie Wright Jr. offered his opinions on the hypothesis that Diddy was responsible for Tupac's early demise, it provided an unexpected twist. Then he related how he met Puff in a sandwich restaurant and that Puff assured him he would give him $1 million. Although the public enthusiastically accepted Reggie Jr.'s viewpoint, they also voiced serious worries about his safety. "This man returned to talk about this while he was on the verge of death," wrote one of them. Even though Knight was close friends with the late rapper, he hasn't revealed who shot both Tupac and him. This silence could have played a part in the long wait for the real offender to be discovered. Knight also responded to reports that he knew Tupac's M. The stakes, however, appear to be different now that Knight and Katt Williams are hatching a plan to expose his well-known adversary in the most spectacular way possible through a show. Regarding the unspoken subject, Keith D shared further details regarding his interactions with the return home crooner. Keith D revealed the specifics of his 4 encounters with Sean Diddy Combs in an additional open interview. All of the meetings had to do with the Tupac M story. These clandestine meetings occurred in Anaheim, San Diego, Irvine, and Las Vegas, and they have cast significant doubt on the M investigation. Keith D claims that during the undercover meeting, Puffy concocted a sinister scheme involving Suge Knight and the D of Tupac Shakur. Keith D abruptly ends the interview by claiming to have been with Puffy at a pivotal moment during an Anaheim party. Puffy is said to have made an astounding statement during this conversation, which is why this scene appears like it would make a great movie. He reportedly threatened to do whatever it took to take Tupac and Knight out of the equation, in this case, the equation being life. During the conversation, Keith D shares a stunning story about his terrifying experiences at an Anaheim party with Fluffy. Keith D noticed Puffy's obvious nervousness and could tell that something had caused her to hurry up. The room was crowded with notable people from the hip-hop community and beyond, but the vibe was anything from laid back. It hung over the group like a thick mist of tension. Keith D gives a detailed account of what happened, emphasizing Puffy's seeming desperation. In this 2018 series, Keith D said, "I'm the only one alive who can really tell you the story about the Tupac K." He continued by saying that he was now discussing what had supposedly happened following his cancer diagnosis. He said, "I have nothing else to lose. The truth is all that counts to me." But Suge Knight, who also made it out of the event, might have more knowledge than Keith D. However, it appears that the ex-gang member has already completed half of his tasks for him. Anyway, a few months later, Puffy's hunt grew more intense at Greenblitt's Deli, according to Keith D, proving his unrelenting commitment to see Biggie and Tupac brought to justice. Puffy allegedly promised a large sum of money for the hits during this call, to which Keith D allegedly replied that he needed $1 million to complete the mission. He said that Keith D's comms had been claimed by someone. It is said that during their negotiations over the parameters of the hit at Greenblitt's Deli, Keith D promised Diddy that he would destroy Tupac and K for $1 million right now. Nothing like the clear memories Keith D has of Puffy accepting this payment and mingling with him to seal the deal, an admission that ties Puffy firmly to this oddly frightening story that will soon be made public. This handshake serves as a terrifying reminder of the enigmatic forces that occasionally lurk in the background of the music business. It signaled a deal that might have changed the course of hip-hop history. To put it gently, there is no doubt that most people in Knight's shoes would be willing to go much beyond simply outdating Diddy. It won't be shocking, though, if this is the catalyst for the rapper's eventual custody battle and merely the start of a long list of additional legal issues. That's it for this video. Goodbye.